didn't talk much about the time he spent in the war effort. But there was a day I was able to talk with him and get him to share some of his experiences, and it was on a troop ship named the USS Hunter Leggitt. He didn't spend a great deal of time on it. Mostly, he was on the ship while being transported from one place to another. But it did seem his memories were pleasant. He talked about playing cards with his friends and eating and just enjoying their time. The Hunter Leggitt is not one of those ships romanticized by Hollywood, so most of us are probably not too familiar with it. Its history, though, has now become personal to me because of my uncle. So here's its story. Built in 1922 by the Bethlehem Shipping Corporation in Spell Points, Maryland, the Hunter Leggitt began its life as a commercial vessel called the SS Palmetto, later named SS Pan America. It sailed for many years as a luxury liner before being acquired by the Army and renamed the Hunter Leggitt in February 1939, after Lieutenant General Hunter Leggitt. General Leggitt served as General Pershing's Chief of Staff as well as the Commanding General of 1st Army and 3rd Army during World War I.
At a time when America's forces were still on the defensive everywhere, a convoy of American ships was underway in the Pacific. Among them was the attack transport Hunter Leggitt, a converted luxury liner, one of the first large Navy ships to be manned entirely by Coast Guard personnel. Though the destination of the convoy was secret, it was known that offensive action was ahead. Constant drills were ordered to augment the intensive amphibious training which the crew had already received in the United States. The passengers carried aboard were Marines. Nearly 1,500 battle-trained men of the 1st Marine Division who were to participate in the first invasion of enemy-held territory, 6,000 miles from home.
As a transport vessel, it operated from New York to San Francisco and the West Coast to Hawaii. In May 1941, the ship was turned over to the Navy. During World War II, the USS Hunter Leggitt was assigned to the Asiatic Pacific Theater. In April 1942, the ship and its Coast Guard crew were ordered to the Pacific to take part in the operation of Guadalcanal after amphibious training and a rehearsal landing at the Coral Islands. Eventually, the Hunter Leggitt joined up with other ships and sailed for the Solomon Islands. After arriving at Guadalcanal on 6 August 1942, a couple days later, she was engaged in air attacks, and her gunners shot down several attacks. The assault on Solomon lasted several days. The American task force assigned to engagement off Savo Island suffered heavy losses. The Hunter Leggitt and other transports rescued survivors from the battles. In October 1942, the Hunter Leggitt returned to Guadalcanal loaded with Marines. She remained on duty in Guadalcanal for most of the next year. She carried needed equipment, Marines, and Japanese prisoners to and from the embattled island. By the end of the year, she had returned to America for much-needed repairs. In April 1944, the Hunter Leggitt began a new career as an amphibious training ship. Her purpose was to teach the lessons learned in the Solomons to those assigned to carry out assaults at Iwo Jima, Okinawa, and other assault locations. By August 1945, victory had been declared in Europe and Japan had surrendered. Military personnel scattered all over the world now had to come home. Operation Magic Carpet was the code name of the effort used to bring them home. It began in December 1945 and continued for the next 14 months. During that period, an average of 435,000 military personnel were being transported back from the Pacific every month. The Hunter Leggitt joined the Magic Carpet Fleet 10 December 1945. She made voyages to Ulithi, Guam, Pearl Harbor, and Palos before reporting to Olympia, Washington, where she was returned to the Army on 9 March 1946. The Hunter Leggitt was decommissioned on 18 March 1946. On 30 January 1948, she was sold to Boston Metals Company for scrapping.
If you like this video, I'll be doing more of these types of vlogs, not the normal history lesson. If you like it, and share it. Thank you.